Okay. I think everything's good. Can I be heard? Can I be heard right now? If I turn the music down a tad. Hi everybody. So, sorry about technical difficulties. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kris, this is Wizard Way, and welcome to the finale. The finale! Season finale watch party / review for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 1, over on Amazon Prime. Prime Video. Okay, let me get stuff up. And I'll try and catch up for what I missed in chat. Sorry, guys. It's been a hot mess this evening. Okay, that's good. There's the stream. Pop out. Let's get chat over here. Excellent. Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay, I am heard. Thanks. Thanks, guys. I'm really excited. I'm excited for this stream. I was literally, right before I went live, I was working on updating my Twitter thread for episode 7, because while there isn't a lot of Elvish in episode 7, there were a couple references that I don't think people maybe picked up on, and so I was trying to get all of my tweets done. I'm still, I think, 3 or 4 tweets need to be added to my thread. So I just did a final watch through of episode 7. I am ready for the finale. I just didn't get all of my tweets done. Dang it. But really quickly, let's at least... Let me open up a new thing here and at least announce that I am live and all of that good stuff. Okay... Alright. That's correct. Oh my gosh. My brain is completely farting. The Rings of Power. There we go. Good stuff. Yes. You guys just get a bunch of clickety-clackety. Okay. We have made a tweet. Everything is good. We're good. Okay. Okay. So the only thing that I didn't get done before going live then is bringing up the window to start the timer when things actually drop. So sorry I'm so disorganized, guys. This past week have been dealing with my tooth pain and having gotten my root canal done, which for the last episode, episode 7, you guys saw me right after I had gotten my root canal when I was still all numb, where part of my mouth wasn't responding. Luckily, I was still able to talk perfectly fine, and the pain was gone, so that's good. But today I got my crown fitted. So I have a temporary crown now on the tooth that got a root canal. Fun times. And me, like an idiot, I wasn't feeling up to getting a shot today, which means I went in with no anesthetic. So if anyone has ever gotten a crown fitted, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's really not comfortable. If I had known then what I know now, I would have taken the damn shot. So, oh well. But because of that, I'm not at all numb. I didn't get any anesthetic, so I can feel everything. I'm talking perfectly fine. My mouth is just a little bit sore. The tooth area is kind of sore. But I tend to recover pretty quickly from these things, so I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Alright, let me catch up on chat. The wait's nearly unbearable. I know, it's gonna be over for like a year, maybe 2? Question mark? I know they're gonna try and put it out as quickly as they can, but they also don't want to compromise on quality. So there is a balance to be struck there, and we don't know how long it's going to take. At least you can sleep normal hours next Friday. Thank you for being here, Lord Bunnybon. I see all of you guys here. Thank you for being here. I see Dahlia. I see Lord Bunnybon. JR. Welcome, everybody. Jackie Williams as well. Hi, Jackie. Ryjam is here. JK is here. I'm so grateful you guys are here. And Darnak as well. Hi, everybody. I'm very grateful that you've been so patient with me tonight. I know what bliss it's going to be like. Part of me is really, really sad that this is the season finale, and then part of me is like, thank God. Thank the powers. By the Valar, I need to not be stressing out about the next episode, right? So I have so many videos that I've wanted to make and haven't made. Hi Eli, hi Amanda. Basically my entire Twitter thread, all of these little elvish details that I've picked out every episode, I'm going to convert those into video form. So, like, I know you guys have primarily already seen the Twitter thread, but just in case you haven't, I will be making a ton of videos talking about all of that stuff and my insights with the elvish and details and things that occur to me as you know, an elf-centric lore expert. I am really looking forward to doing that, but not having to worry about having the setup and getting stuff out on, you know, other social media platforms is going to be a huge load off. So I will have a lot more time to devote to making TikTok videos and hopefully catching up on the 50 plus emails that are sitting in my inbox for translation requests. You know, the stuff that actually makes me money. So I'll be trying to catch up on a lot in the next 3 weeks before I get my top surgery. So it is what it is, but I'm really looking forward to being able to relax a little bit and not stress out. And, you know, my brain won't be constantly trying to think up a gazillion different theories. Or maybe it will, because I don't know what's going to happen in this episode, and it could throw all sorts of stuff into a huge kerfuffle. Do we think we'll see Sauron in some capacity? I'm not sure. And the reason I'm not sure is I did see the little preview that automatically played at the end of episode 7. Normally I try to go into these episodes completely blind, so I have not been on Twitter. I know that there have been a couple clips that have happened on Twitter, and I have not seen them. I did not want to spoil myself. So all that I heard is that we have a female voice going, "You are Lord Sauron." And that sounded like it could be one of the mystics to me. And the mystics, I found out, are actually named. I noticed this when I was doing my watch through just now. They are called the Dweller, the Nomad, and the Acidic. So the Dweller is Brady Sisson. That's the I'm Slim Shady, yes I'm the real Shady. It's our Eminem lookalike. Our gloriously androgynous, blonde-haired diva. That is Brady Sisson. She plays the Dweller. The red-haired one that's actually wearing a metal helm, like an actual helmet, that is Edith Poor, is the actress's name, and she is the Nomad. And then Kali Kopai, or Kapai, is the Acidic. Now, in case you don't know the vocabulary, an Acidic is someone who, typically for religious reasons, is all about really, really severe self-discipline to the point that indulgence in any form is unacceptable. So Kali's character is the acidic. So that's all we know about them. We don't have proper names for them yet. Perhaps that will change in this episode. I look forward to it. But yeah, the Zealots, or the Mystics, as we've called them in previous episodes, are called the Dweller, the Nomad, and the Acidic. So that was a fun detail I wanted to share. Oh, let's see. Maybe Sauron's gonna be random cat number 2. That'd be so funny. Anapaw. Yeah. Y'all have been watching the Unpredicted Party, haven't you? Speaking of which, I made my debut. I made my debut in the Unpredicted Party. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I have had so much fun playing in Don Marshall's The Unpredicted Party campaign. It's my first time doing anything recorded when it comes to roleplay, and my first time doing live roleplay verbally. Because I had 12 years of experience doing roleplay in written form with my partner, but that allows you as much time as you need in order to write things and then tag back and forth in Instant Messenger. So it's not as immediate as doing LARPing, basically, live action roleplay, which is what I basically did on the Unpredicted Party, and I got to play Thranduil. So I'm really, really excited that you guys get to finally see that. I'm a part of another 2 episodes, I believe. The next episode will be coming out not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. So enjoy that. Finally having a little bit of downtime for the party in Mirkwood. And then I'll only be in like the beginning tiny portion of a 3rd episode. It'll be episode 17. That'll be my last one. And that's just Thranduil seeing them off, which we know would have to happen at some point anyway. So I hope you guys enjoy that when everything airs. I'm really excited to share it. I had so much fun. I can't wait to do more of that. I wish that I had more knowledge when it came to D&D so that I could potentially do those sorts of campaigns. Like, I love roleplay so much, and I think it would be so much fun to do that in a more official capacity, but I have absolutely no experience other than just written form roleplay. So maybe eventually. I did make a really, really great backstory for the one character that I do run in a campaign that I'm in with my sibling, their wife, and our friend Steph. And the DM is Steph's man, Spencer. But the character's name is Rime, R-I-M-E. He's an half-elf air genasi, because genasi tend to be half of an original race, plus, you know, in air genasi, it's typically the djinn that caused the genasi to be a thing. So yeah, he's an air genasi bard who was raised in the cult of Leviatar, so that's fun. In case you don't know D&D lore, Leviatar is our maiden of pain. It's basically a very sadistic, masochistic religion, where pain and suffering is viewed as worship, and they will, you know, gouge themselves and bleed in order to summon magic from their goddess. So it's pretty dark. So having a bard who's into that has been really, really interesting. The podcast, it's on YouTube if you want to actually watch the things, but it's also available in podcast form, I believe. But it's called The Unpredicted Party. And that is Don Marshall 72 on YouTube and TikTok, but the actual campaign is on YouTube under Don Marshall 72. And Unpredicted Party, which is basically a campaign that asks the question, what if they took the Eagles to Mordor? What if the Fellowship took the Eagles to Mordor? And long story short, Gwaihir, the Wind Lord, betrays everyone, takes the One Ring for himself, kills the Fellowship, and says, I'm now the evil bird overlord of Middle-earth. And so we end up having to battle him instead of Sauron. Hi, Gray. My cat just jumped up. Hey, Miss Thistleberry, thank you so much for being here. Oh, and I missed Osman as well. Hi, Osman. What are you doing, Gray? Why are you here? If not to be cuddled... Yeah. Go on. Go on. Thranada. Yeah, I tend to call him Thrandaddy. Thrandaddy or Randy Thrandy. Enjoy. Yeah, it really is a fun campaign. I highly recommend it. And it's not just because I'm in it, but the moment Dawn pitched it to me, because he was just like, I have this crazy idea. He's like, Critical Role, but specifically Lord of the Rings, and I want to do a campaign with this premise. And me and Dawn chatted for hours about some of the things that he wanted to do. And I was just like, no, this is truly a great idea, and you need to make it happen. So I was just cheerleader in the background. Ooh, you play a half-orc druid. Fun. There's so many interesting things that you can do in D&D, and I think that's why I'm finally starting to dip my toe into it. I have an entire fantasy world in my head that I created with Sandra, but I'm the only one who can play there because no one else knows the world. I would eventually love to write it all down and, you know, put it out as a roleplay book. You haven't watched Critical Role, should you? I believe it's a lot of fun, Critical Role. But as far as me telling you, should you get involved, just understand that it's a time sap. Because where we currently are in a campaign, I don't even know what episode people are on at this point, but it's hours upon hours upon hours of footage if you're wanting to watch an entire campaign. So if you're the type who likes to have stuff on your headphones as you're doing things around the house, or you're able to multitask when you're at work or something like that, then potentially you can put Critical Role on in the background while you're working or doing housework and stuff. And I think that would work great. But the storytelling is great. All of the people who are part of the campaigns, same thing with Dimension 20. These two big roleplay campaign companies, I guess I'll call them. Parties? Question mark? I don't know what the proper term would be, but they do amazing work, honestly. And the DMs are fantastic, and all of the people who are part of these campaigns are basically professional voice actors. They're professionals. So they really take the roleplay component of doing D&D very seriously. And that's why there's now a spin-off animated series for Vox Machina, which I believe is on Prime Video as well. Pretty sure it's Prime Video that has Vox Machina, The Legend of Vox Machina, which is a Critical Role campaign that they did. Lots of fun. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, please, everybody tap the like button, give it a little boop. Give boop the like button for me. Make it change color. Get that tiny little dopamine rush of seeing it change color. That's the most satisfying thing for me, is watching stuff change color when I do that. That's like when I'm live on TikTok, or watching somebody else live on TikTok, being able to tap the screen like this and get a bunch of little hearts going. It's so satisfying. I love that shit. Exandria Unlimited Calamity short series that they did. Everyone's been telling me to watch that one. The Calamity short series. And you don't need any prior knowledge going in. It's only like 4 episodes long, so it's just like, it's a handful of hours, but it's a contained campaign. I really want to watch that one and dip my toe into it. I just haven't had the time. So luckily, now that I'm getting done with the Rings of Power temporarily, I will hopefully have more time to dive into Critical Role and D&D and stuff. I want to get into it a bit more. I think I'd have a lot of fun. Oh, your plane is landing. Good luck, Jonathan. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, definitely catch the VOD later. It will be up. I can't wait to see what the episode is like. So I hope that you enjoy it when you manage to, settle down, grab a cup of a lovely beverage of choice, and enjoy the stream. Just cue me up and you'll be able to follow the little counter timer thing down here. Speaking of, let's pull that up, because the episode's probably going to drop any second. Because things have been dropping about a half an hour prior lately. So let's bring up our timer stopwatch thingy. Stopwatch! Yay! Stopwatch! Oh, see, look at that, and it even brought it up for me. Automatically. That's nice. Timer. Let me just adjust things here. There we go. Okay, timer is ready. Woot. Awesome. Yes. Yes to all of the things. Cool. Just realized how blonde my hair is looking now. My color is really starting to fade. I look more blonde now. I'm gonna be trimming my hair soon for my top surgery, because I'm not gonna be able to raise my arm enough to like really brush my hair. So I'm like, the less I have to mess with it, the better. So I'm probably gonna go super short. Not like buzz cut, but close. Or maybe I should do the buzz cut thing and tap into my inner Brady Sisson and go platinum blonde buzz cut, and just do some skits and have some fun with it. Changing to autumn. Yeah, it's just sort of fading. I started with autumn colors. It was green to like orange and tiny little bit of red at the tips. But all of the red has basically pulled out at this point, and it's more just yellow and green. Long episode? Long episode. Is it? Is it listed? I'm like, refresh. Episodes. No, it's not there yet. Not for me. Background noise for studying Latin. Yeah. Fading like the elves. I know. Oh no! Oh no! My hair color. It's broken. Nah, it's good. It's good. Oh man, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the episode. Oh, you were talking about Critical Role. Gotcha. Yeah, some episodes can be super long. Like, some episodes can run 4 hours long. Which is why, people are like, oh yeah, we're on, like, episode 200. I'm like, what? I'm like, episode 200, and each episode is between 2 and 4 hours long? To me, that's pretty daunting to try and catch up on. But I'm sure once I get started, I'll become, like, completely addicted, and I'll be basically running it 10 hours a day. Just whenever I'm doing anything, I'll just have it going. Oh, it's live. It's live! Bum. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the Amethystium music here. What is going on with this? What is going on? There we go. Okay. Something weird with my display on here. Alright. Refresh. Give it to me, baby. Alloyed. Ooh. It says this video is currently unavailable. Can't watch it yet. It's an hour and 12 minutes, though, so same length as the previous episode. I'm waiting. Just looking at the thumbnail for it, though, we get to see Celebrimbor in a different fucking outfit. It's about damn time. I can't wait. I'm like, we see him in a forging outfit. He's got the gloves on. He's got the apron, and I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. Yeah, it's not live yet. We're refreshing. The listing for the episode is there now, but it says the video is currently unavailable. So they're basically in the process of uploading it. If Sauron is the stranger, he's gonna go more goth. More goth. Ha 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 ha. But jail, now. Jail. It is such a tease. I know, I've been dying to see him forge too. I reposted a couple videos of Charles Edwards doing some Shakespearean acting. It popped up on my feed and I was like, yes to all of this, and I need my fellow Rings of Power people to see this. Because he's a fantastic actor. He really is. And I know everyone's been just, like, on the Rings of Power's case for casting an older actor as Celebrimbor, but I'm like, he was chosen for a reason. I have to trust that he was chosen for a reason, and when I look at his catalog, at his portfolio of acting experience, he's got the skills. He's got the skills. I mean, he's done so much, and he's an award-winning actor. Laurence Olivier award-winning actor. Like, he's got us covered. Oh, if you hear barking. Barking is my sister-in-law's dog, who is apparently right outside my slider door here. She's probably gonna be like, Luna! It's all good. Going to Dol Guldur, not jail. Sauron's summer home. I mean, kind of. It is more northern. It's in Greenwood. Maybe we'll see a parallel to the forging of the title. Yeah, that would be really cool because the practical effects that they used were so cool. That would be pretty cool. It's labeled but not released. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. Okay, episodes. Yeah, it's there, but it's not released yet. Maybe this time they'll actually be sticklers for it and not put it live until it's actually time. Until it's actually midnight. Midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. We shall see. I'm excited though. Yeah, part of me is sad that this is the last episode for a while, but part of me is really ready to have a break. Will I be watching the recap at the beginning? Yes. I start the video and start my timer down here, the timer, so that everyone can sync up, and that includes the recap. Constantly refreshing. Thanks, guys! Damn it, Amazon US. Oh, you're able to watch already? So it's populated for you. What country are you in, Lord Bunnybon? I forget. Are you in the UK? Oh, and Amanda, too. You're being so patient. Thanks, guys. I'll let you know as soon as we're ready to go on our end here. Yeah, still, video is currently unavailable. Just watch, there's like something wrong with Amazon US and everyone else in the world gets to watch it. And us in the US, they're like, technical difficulties, we're so sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to see Celebrimbor, like, putting in the work, if you know what I mean. Actually, in preparation for this episode, I definitely need this guy. I should definitely have this guy with me. This is my Chibi Sauron. I love red-headed Sauron. We'll just take the crown off. You're gonna be right here with me. Oh, that's right, Lord Bunnybon, you're in Austria. I know because you're one of my patrons. By the way, you were asking about shipping to Austria. I believe it's $17.50 USD. So $17.50 USD. Which is a lot, but it's not as bad as some other countries that are over $20. I know, isn't he cute? This is like the cutest. I was so glad that they allowed me to keep him in my promo video. My actual sponsor video, which is still pinned on my profile in my TikTok. Technically I can take it down now if I want to. I'll probably leave the ad up. You know, if they get any more views out of it, that's a good thing. But yeah, we had issues on the back end with my promotion. Apparently all of my emails, like being like, hey, here's the draft, I need approval. Please let me know if I need to make any edits. All of my emails, and I sent several of them because there was no response, they apparently were going into the spam folder for them. So something that should have aired, like my advert should have aired weeks ago, and it just didn't. I'm glad you thought it was a cute video. I tried to have some fun with it. I did do one thing that I know I wasn't supposed to, and that was I made it more of an instructional video. But instructional is kind of my brand as well. They're like, we want you to tell a story. I'm like, but like, I teach people on my channel. That's what I do. I don't tend to do full-blown skits. So me including this guy was my attempt at doing something a little different. And, you know, talking about different environs that you can do with your lights and stuff. And I tried to add something extra to it. But you never know. Okay, let's try refreshing again. Come on. Give it to me. Nope, still unavailable. Oh, it's infuriating. I want to watch so badly. I shouldn't be so impatient. Because technically we've got another 20 minutes before it's supposed to be live anywhere anyway, so just be patient. Have patience. Have patience. Don't be in such a hurry. The lights are cool. I already had the light bulbs, but they did send me the light strip, so that was a new experience for me. The strip is really neat. The adhesive on it is nice. The only thing that's rough with strips like that is that they don't like bending. So doing things around corners can be kind of tough. If you're not just doing it in a straight line, things get a little messy sometimes with trying to keep everything stuck and attached. I know, right? Shall I describe it to you? Would you like me to find you a box? I'm the dwarf in the situation. I'm not happy about it. Let me put the music back on. Fuck it. Or was it still live for you this entire time, and it's just me? Okay, it should be soft for you, but still there. I'm not seeing it though. There's something wrong with my mixer. There's something wrong with my mixer in OBS at the moment. I messed with something that I shouldn't have messed with, and it was in an attempt to get my binaural mic working again, because I wanted to experiment with some stuff. and it just ended up biting me in the butt. Is it good? Please let it be good. I can't take it if it's not good. I'm on the fence when it comes to the whole mithril cures whatever blight is happening. I want there to be like a nugget of truth to the whole apocryphal tale that we were told with, you know, an elven warrior and a Balrog fighting via a tree, and then that tree being struck by Manwë's lightning and creating mithril. Like, I'm kind of hoping that's not that's not the truth, but the reason that the myth exists is because there's a kernel of truth there, and so it became just widely accepted as truth, which is what the meaning of apocryphal is, that there's no evidence to prove it, but it's believed to be true. You're firmly in the camp of liking the edition. I don't like it. It feels too on the nose for me. That, and just ultimately Durin the Third is right. That the elves are destined to fade. It ends up being a much more prolonged thing than what people are, you know, fearing at this point in time in the series, but he's right. You know, they can try and meddle, but ultimately the fate of the elves was already sung, just like the fate of the dwarves is kind of their thing, and fate of men is separate, and like all of this stuff was sung beforehand. There's a big whole predestination thing, and destiny and fate and all of these themes. So I feel like you didn't need to add that in, because Durin is right. The elves are going to fade. It's just going to be a more prolonged thing. It's not like they're gonna be gone by spring. And just putting such a strict and soon timeline, that is sus to me. I feel like that's something Sauron would have done. Like, you're fading, and based on the blight on this tree, which I myself may have caused, by the way, you're all gonna be dead by X amount of time because I did a calculation, and everyone's like, oh my god, and then they just freak out about it. I feel like it's something that Sauron would have taken advantage of. You know, creating a problem that only he has the solution to, and therefore manipulating the situation. That feels far more, you know, on point with existing lore than this apocryphal thing just happening to be true. The mythical tale part. Yeah, so many elves were alive back then. Like, this isn't it's not even generations ago. Yeah. This would be like one generation back. There's just, you know, elves live so long that it's yeah. They would know the guy. Someone would have known the exact elf that this was, and they could have tested to the whether his heart was truly that pure as Manwë. And I'm just like, bro doesn't exist, man. Like, Glorfindel is the closest I can think of where he was just very true of heart, but so is Icthalion. And they, you know, both died bringing down Balrogs during the fall of Gondolin. The age of the elf is over, the age of the orc. I mean, the age of man. The age of orc. I mean, never mind. Basically. They have been using those bits of dialogue. Yeah, this didn't happen. I was there yesterday. That's sort of the vibe that I'm going for, which is why Elrond's reaction, to me, is telling. Like, he's heard the story before, but he doesn't believe it's true. And this is the guy whose dad literally saved the fucking world. Like, if it seems too far-fetched for Elrond, then I believe it's just too far-fetched. I think Elrond, of all people, would have a bit of an idea of whether or not such tales could be true. Video's still not available. Ah! I'm trying to not constantly refresh. It's not up for me. I just refreshed. It's not there. Not for me. Not for me. Not for me. Oh, hold on. Having a problem with ants in my office right now. So occasionally I'll see one on my screen and I'm like, I don't want to ruin my screen, but I also don't want to I don't want to suffer the ants to live. And I don't know exactly where they're coming from. They're coming from one of the walls, like behind my desk. You're just constantly refreshing. That's fine. Once it's up for you, it'll probably be up for me. We'll just wait. Just wait with Sauron. It's fine. Just watch. We, continue to be live, and it takes them an extra hour. Use hand sanitizer. Really? I mean, that makes sense. That does make sense. I don't have any hand sanitizer readily available, though. Not, at my desk. Hand sanitizer spray. I'll have to go buy some. That would totally work, though, you're right. I typically just go... I just don't like, jabbing my thumb against my computer screen. I don't want to ruin my computer screen. So I tend to just take a piece of paper and just smear it. It's fine. I wish I could just, attach him here. Have him like a parrot. I don't know, how does that look? Not great. The details that the light went down the mountain. How would they have known if dwarves discovered Mithril, yesterday? Yeah. That and just... I feel like the elves would have told the dwarves about this. Especially knowing that the dwarves are in Khazad-dûm. And that Khazad-dûm has been around for a long time. They'd be like, hey, we've got this weird, rumor going around. Rumor has it. And they could just be like, yeah, we've got this weird rumor that's sort of, taking hold in Eregion, in Eriador. And all the way into Linden. They're like, but it's talking about, this tree, and that lightning struck it, and suddenly there was Mithril in the mountains here. Or, there was, a substance in the mountain. Have you noticed anything that looks kind of like tree roots? Any ore that kind of fits the bill? That would be, both good and evil? They would have poked them about it. To be like, hey, has there been any sudden change? Or is this something that you've seen already? Oh, the beacons are lit. Okay, the beacons are lit! Refreshing. I'm so ready. I'm so freaking ready. Okay, here we go. Okay. Turning off the music. Music is off. Timer's ready to go. Alright. Alright. I've got it queued up. We're ready to go. Let me bring up my timer. Alright. So now we can do our countdown. Is everybody ready? Everyone ready? Sorry for the delay for everyone who had it up in their own countries and the US was just lagging. You can skip the ad, just press pause at the end of it. Yeah, where was Amazon when the episode dropped? late. All right, everybody ready? Joe, don't tell me shit. No spoilers in chat. If you are ahead, please don't spoil me in chat. I will not appreciate it. I will truly not appreciate it. Bye! Oh, no worries, Monday. Thank you. All right, everybody ready to go? Let's do a 5-second countdown, all right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, here we go. I don't skip anything in the preview, so here we go with the recap. Okay. Power not of the flesh, but over flesh. Yeah, no one believes him. We'll see. That would explain, though, like, if he killed Sauron, much like when Gandalf died and then came back, that could be what's happening with the stranger. That he is Sauron, reborn, if you will. We'll have to just see. Yeah, just breathe. Just breathe. Nobody knows except Beric. And once again, we've got a wound that needs elvish medicine. Okay, so we had the Harfoots going after the stranger now. Ooh, we're not even going into the opening credits. It's just straight into the episode this time. Okay. Maybe these opening credits are going to be different this time. Maybe there will be a shift in the opening credits like I sort of suspected might happen. Erengallon! Yay! Erengallon does literally mean green wood in Sindarin. I'm so excited. I have Team Erengallon shirts. Available in my merch store. Which is linked in my website, if anyone's curious. Enjoy. I have teams for most of the major realms in the Second Age. Yeah. Poor stranger, like, the conflict is real. We'll have to see what happens. I know that the mystics believe that the stranger is Sauron, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. If he suddenly has memories and stuff, then I'm sure we'll see it. He really does look like a homeless old man. I love that that's really Daniel Wayman's. It's his actual hair and beard. He didn't wear a wig or, fake stuff. Oh, yeah, that's not Nori. Shape-shifting. Oh, I just got chills. I'm sorry, but there's something so sexy about Pretty Sis in here. That is so, like, gender euphoria. Ugh, androgyny. It's like, mommy? Sorry. Daddy? Sorry. Alright, so that's the Dweller. Ooh, in Quenya. Yeah. We know the mystics believe, all of these three definitely believe that he's Sauron. They've been chasing him for a while. I think we can't trust that. We can't trust that outright. So here we go with our opening credits, and we'll have to see if there's any difference in the opening credits. Maybe. I don't know. I think it would be fun if they altered the credits a little bit. Yeah, if you're just joining in, we're in the opening credits right now, and the time code for where we are in the video is right down here. Right here. So you can sync up your video with this. We're 5 minutes in now. I'm not seeing any differences in the opening credits yet, which is okay. 'Tis what it is. You don't think he's Sauron? I have no idea. I think very potentially he could be. I do think that Daniel Wayman definitely would, he would spruce up nicely. He's got wonderful cheekbones, okay? Like, I know he looks like a homeless guy right now, but he's got great facial structure to look evil if he wanted to. If he wanted to take an elven form, the actor would look fantastic as both. Ooh, here we go. Region, this will be Ostineville. Ostineville. Which is just City of the Elves. Oh, it's so pretty though. Oh. Things aren't going well. Oh, I love that bit of lore. Ugh, the trilled R's. I'm living for the trilled R's. He can't have that. Celebrimbor is going to be so determined for that to not be what happens. I'm already loving the architecture here in Ostineville. The way everything has creeping vines. Oh yeah, Halbrand must be hurting. Poor guy. He better have facial hair. Oh, these houses of healing. Look at the draperies. And the things that they're whispering in Quenya is very similar to what the stranger has been whispering. The refresh, renew. Yeah, it's the first time she's been back amongst the elves. Yeah, I want my home to look like that too. Oh god, I wish. I live in a desert though. Those plants are not drought resistant. Their friendship makes me happy. It is like quasi weird that he ends up marrying her daughter, but you know, we gotta see Celebrimbor first. Or no, sorry, Celeborn first. Celeborn has to make a reappearance. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. She seriously just said that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, who's there? Oh, it's Halbrand. Okay. How did you climb up all those stairs, Halbrand? He's fanboying over Celebrimbor. This bodes well. Feeding that ego right from the get-go. I mean, I'll be kind of sad if Halbrand is Sauron, honestly, but I will easily be convinced. That's gonna be the 3 elven rings right there. Because those are the colors. Yeah, why not? I mean, like, he ain't wrong. Ah, no! A gift? No! Anatar! No! Okay. Nubeta, you might be right and I might be wrong, and I will eat my words and congratulate you on the win. I don't see it either. Oh, okay. So did he die then? Yeah, calling it a gift is really on the nose. Ugh. I'm frustrated. Ooh, Aarion gets a chance to do something special. That's a very nice sketch of him. She gonna see something or hear something? I feel like she's got to get something special out of this experience, otherwise why make her have it? Ba-ba-ba-bum. That's gotta be unsettling. She's like, time for what? That's gotta be unsettling. Especially for someone who's basically one of the Kingsmen at this point. Oh, he gone. She gets to see a Palantir. Ooh. Don't look for too long. You get an hour. Don't waste it. Have fun. Yeah, I had a little pop-up just now, too, that tried to play something, and I dismissed it. They might do that a couple times in this particular one. Just try to dismiss them if you see them. Thing says, the scrolls in the King's Tower are elven. Oh, and it disappeared before I could read it all. Go figure. Okay. You should not be standing here at all. I don't get that. Yeah, He just quoted Adar. And that was something that Adar was saying Sauron said. There are a lot of different characters right now that could be being influenced by Sauron, even if they aren't Sauron himself. They could be somehow unconsciously doing his bidding, so it could include Adar, it could include Halbrand, Disa. He was conferring with his smiths! Sus! So much sus right now. It was you. It was you, wasn't it? Just, it's gonna happen. You're already in Austin Evil, aren't you? Ooh, yeah, eat your own words. We did get to see him with Aiglos there. That's kind of cool. Damn, he healed fast. I don't know, like... All of this is so sus. It's so sus. I want to own all of those hammers. Every single freaking one. All of them. Come on, have a female elven smith. Come on. Do not make them all men, I am begging you. Yeah, now Galadriel's being like, Yeah, so sus. Even the music is sus. It would explain why he didn't want to leave Numenor before, because he was already eager to bring the Numenorians down. He is smug. Yeah, there are certain bits in Halbrand's personality that do make sense with this guy. But I'm still not fully convinced, but boy is he putting it on hard. Yeah, the music, man. The music is just He wasn't allowed into the other elvish settlements, and Galadriel is the one who ultimately saw through him. She's the ascetic. That's the nomad. The hermit's hat. Far to the east. Rune. Which is why I think he's one of the blue wizards. Yeah, they believe this is Sauron, but I don't know. Two Saurons or one Anatar or one Sauron? What is happening? What are you doing, bro? He's like, I don't want slaves. Yeah, there's definitely magic afoot, but we don't know if he's Sauron or not. I'm sorry, but the Dweller makes me so happy. Sadek in the background. That did not sound like a hoot. It sounded like a wooden whistle. If I were the ladies, I'd be sus too. Yeah, maybe he's like the thing and everyone is Sauron. It's just Sauron telling himself stories. I would laugh. I would honestly laugh. At this point, I am leaning toward Halbrand being Sauron and this guy being a blue wizard. There's no way of knowing for sure at this point, but that's what the hints are all indicating. Woo! No! Sadok, no! I mean, there's a reason he wasn't in a ton of the promotion. He might just be a season 1 only character. Just fucking step on my throat. Brady Sisson, you can do terrible things to me any day. Oh, I'm sad about Sadok, though. We're already 1 Harfoot down. Yeah, I think the actual stranger's not going to be too happy about this. He's like, those are my friends! I think they're going to find out the hard way that this is not Sauron. He's gonna wake up the frickin' Ents! Ooh, I just got so many chills. I always love the bad guys. It's something chronic. I'm so excited. Oh no, Poppy! Those moon-shaped throwing daggers, I love it. Oh man, this is so cool. Yeah, thunk. I should have remembered the rocks. Aye, you should have. I love the sorcery. It makes me wonder if she is the other blue wizard but has been turned dark. I love it. Because this right here is very Sauron. Just let it all burn. Burn, let it all burn. Little Nori. Yes, and he gets a staff. It's gotta be a blue wizard. Come on. Oh no. Yeah, the level of magic users. Yeah, often the magic of the elves is not supposed to be magic at all. That's supposed to be a heightened level of skill. But the wizards, the Maiar, they can have magic that's beyond rational explanation. Oh, man. Foomp. Oh, you don't know what you just awoke! The Witch King isn't a wizard, he's a sorcerer. He is a mortal man, but he is a sorcerer. So he's one that's been granted power by someone. Yeah, he's a wizard. He's the Istar. Oh, I got so many chills. Nicely done. Oh, what a cool visual of all of them becoming moths and the staff disappearing with them. Okay, that was very, very cool. We do know he's a wizard now. I'm not surprised by that. I thought it would be more interesting if the mystics there were wrong, that they were so convinced that this is Sauron, but it's not. Sadoc's hurt, man. Sadoc, unless Sadoc gets healed, say he would have lost a lot of blood at this point. Yeah, there is healing magic, but there's not always a guarantee that a wizard is going to heal you. Oh, poor Sadoc. I keep wondering, like, where are the Ents in this whole thing? Because we saw them briefly when the meteor was going across the sky. So, like, part of me is like, okay, so Ents when? So we know most of them are heading back to Numenor. The exceptions being Halbrand, who may or may not be Sauron, and Isildur, who's still lost, and Beric is probably going to go find him. Yeah, who has you, Elendil? You had choices. Yeah, and here we're having a conflict of his worldview. I'm still not sure whether or not Miriel is is faithful or Kingsman. Because she did give her father's Numenorian name when she promised to return to the Southlands. So I'm just not sure. Okay. I'm still uncertain about Miriel, but it's good to see that Elendil is not going dark. Because that challenge to his worldview could go either way. It's nice seeing Miriel in a different outfit, too. I just enjoy the costumes in the series, let's be real. I just like the costumes. Are all the flags at half-mast, or they're flying black flags or something because the king died? Yeah, black flags, the king died. I kind of called that. Those are cool flags, though. They look like, you know, solar eclipse flags. Right, like Zuko. Exactly, Dahlia. Non-faithful Muriel, right? Perhaps. Ooh, that's no bueno. Big kaboom. It won't be the last time, I'm sure. Female Elvinsmith, hell yes. Galadriel's like, yeah, I kind of saw this up in the Forordwife. Ugh, Smith Celebrimbor, though. Oh, man. Yeah, Halbrand might be Anatar. He very well might be. What do you think? What do you think? Is it you? I think it might be you. Is he worthy? He's smirking. I don't know. But yeah, the way he's helping with it all, and he just sort of saw himself in very, yeah, coaxed to join each other, right? Them sexy talk words to a Smith. We're making lesser rings. Whee! She's gonna be like, there is no Halbrand in the line of the Southlands. She's like, read it and weep. He had no heir. Bum. Who is you? Interesting that he would have the appearance of a mortal man and not an elf, though. Yeah. I wanted to remain in Numenor. Because he brooks no rival. He will suffer no rival. Okay, I'll eat my words. Bum. See, but Galadriel knows without a doubt at this point, though. And that's not how stuff happened either in the lore. She couldn't prove it. Okay, knew better, do better. I concede. Halbrand it is. God, this setting is so beautiful. Get out of my mind. Oh, he's taking the dagger, though. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. But they were all of them deceived. Right? Oh, man. We've still got at least 10 more minutes. That's Sauron talking right there. Yeah. Because Sauron does want peace, he just wants to subjugate and create his own sense of order. Which is partially true. Oh man, that's so twisted. I love it. That's definitely something that Sauron would do, though. Infiltrate her mind and use it against her. This is definitely... Ah, did he take the mark on purpose? Possibly. Possibly. That smile is so off. Well done. Yeah, she should fight this. Yeah, same. Yeah, he is so mind-fucking her right now. fair. He had to heal everything that he helped ruin. This is exactly what Tolkien said was the initial motivation behind Sauron staying. This is good. Because that is Sauron's motivation. Consider it a gift. Right. Exactly. I was hoping he wasn't Sauron because it seemed too straightforward. Ah! I love that shot. That is fantastic. Yeah, he's gonna lean hard into the you and me, we're the same. He would. He would make you a queen! Ah, really leaning into that line. She's like, absolutely not. This is definitely a tactic that Sauron would use. This is well acted. Well done, Charlie Vickers. Yeah, save, rule, same thing. This is better than expected. Yes, I agree. I was like, he's gonna have to play it so well. You need me. Ooh, the slitted pupils! Yes! I'm very happy about this. I'm very happy about this. And I love that this entire exchange is just one big mindfuck. Because that is exactly how Sauron operates. Basically left her in a fountain to drown. Tevildo. She's like, no! See, the form of Halbrand is compromised now, though. Is she gonna reveal it? Because, like, I think this form, Halbrand, the form is compromised. Oh, man. Well played, though, Charlie Vickers. If you're not coming back and you were just the first form, well done. He's like, but... Okay, and here's a timeline condensing right here. That's a basic physics rule, too. 3 points make a plane, right? I'm gonna say, they're gonna melt down her dagger. Oh, I'm sad that the dagger is... sacrifice. I'm sad we won't get to see this beautiful dagger in action anymore, but this makes sense. Because gold and silver from Valinor would be special. I'm glad he's a blue wizard. It's nice to hear him speaking full sentences now, too, that he's gleaned something. Yay! Where do the Harfoots go from here, though? Their path forward is uncertain for me here. Yeah, the gold and silver dagger that was bathed in orc blood, right? Oh, that's a sweet line. Alone it's just a journey. Adventures must be shared. I like that. That might not be true. We'll see. Just falling backwards. Harfoots could be a season 1 thing, or make a reappearance later. You're holding it upside down. Love it. I love that Malva is the new trail finder. He's in the book. You take his wisdom with you. Little Nori's going with him? I think if she's going, though, Poppy's definitely going too. She wants adventure in the great wide somewhere. Just kidding. Sorry, wrong company. My bad. Mr. Frodo's not going anywhere without me. She really not going? Ah! That was so cute. Oh. That's so sweet. She's like, I heard everything you said. It totally is a Sam backpack. She's gonna be carrying that for 4 seasons. Like, I need her. I need Markella to talk to Sean Astin now. Yeah, this makes more sense though, that she's the only one, or her and Poppy if Poppy does end up following. But them sticking with the stranger and having their own adventure and such in Run makes more sense. They're all so cute together. Warm, fuzzy family vibes. Right. Oh, puppy. Yeah, she doesn't leave. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I hope we do get to see Poppy again. That they'll get to reunite in some later season. But yeah, Poppy will make a really nice leader for the Harfoots later on. I could totally see that happening. Mordor Gandalf. Is it left or right? Not entirely. They really are leaning heavily into the Gandalf thing. Follow your nose. Okay. So, may very well be Gandalf then. Which I'm not in love with. I would prefer to have an original character there and explore the Blue Wizards a bit, but I'm alright with it. I'm not mad at it, not really. But I think, you know, one wizard and one Harfoot is a good combo to take them into another stage in the next season. I'm loving seeing Celebrimbor in his smithing gear, though. Damn. Look at him in the back. Ugh. It's rather good. It does explain his love of hobbits. Well, there is that line about you can learn everything about them in a week, and after ages they can still surprise you. It's interesting the way that they're condensing this timeline so that the 3 elven rings are made first. I'm curious how they're going to move this into the next season. And there's got to be a good hook at the end of the episode to make us want to come back for season 2. So we haven't gotten that yet. But yeah, definitely making the 3 elven rings here with those 3 areas siphoning off of the center there. It's an interesting... Oh, seeing the visual of it looking like the Eye of Sauron too, that there's power there that they still don't quite understand. I love that they're like centrifuging it into existence. He really does look more comfortable in his smithing gear. I absolutely agree. And we do get to see this... Nice. Okay, I was gonna say, they should have ring forms. Yeah, and then they'll be forging those into the actual rings, bending and forming them. So now he gets to do his thing. But yeah, he does look so much more at home in the Forge than he does in these more official capacities. I'm really happy to see that. Yeah, please ignore the sounds behind me. It's food time for my cats. Ooh, what's on the scroll? What's on the scroll? What's on the scroll? Okay. Where are we going with this? This is gonna be the last bit. The sapphire will go into Vilya. The redstone will go into Narya. The white stone goes into Nenya. Interesting that he's not faceting the gems. And it's also a thing that Celebrimbor, in the longer version of the lore... Okay. Well, actually, yeah, no, they aren't faceted. Interesting. I kind of like that. I kind of like these rough stones being in the rings. And that is what they look like. I'm happy about that. Because Vilya and Narya should be gold, and Nenya is mithril in the lore. So having an alloy of all three, but hers being pale and theirs being more golden, makes sense. Okay. So is this gonna be it? Is this the end? Halbrand's gonna let go of that form. Sauron is gonna cast off that form and take another. At least one would think. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now we get the poem. Oh, dedicated to John Payne. Doomed to die. Prettier form for Sauron next season? Probably. No, probably. Probably. Where the shadows lie. Shout out to the vocalist. I probably won't see their name. I can watch like the entirety of the of the credits here. It's interesting hearing the verse put to song. Okay. That turned out better than I thought. I will admit, that turned out a lot better than I thought. And when I was chatting with Nubeta and a few other Tolkien geeks, they were just like, I really think that's him. And I was like, I'll be disappointed if that is the form that is meant to stay as him. So I'm very happy with how this turned out, actually. I'm totally down for it. Whale Dane. I know, right? Bravo, Amazon Studios. I know there are going to be plenty of people who are bitching and moaning about this, but I'm actually quite pleased with how that turned out. I really was hoping the stranger was not Sauron, so that turned out okay. I'm not surprised that he's one of the wizards. That was my guess from the get-go. I was just like, I don't think he's Sauron. But it was very clear with the way that the dweller, the nomad, and the ascetic were following him, that they were convinced he was Sauron. But I was like, I think that's a misdirect. And sure enough, there we go. So the stranger is one of the Istari. I'm totally down for that. And Halbrand was indeed Sauron. I do like the way that they made that reveal happen in Galadriel's mind. That he absolutely 100% took her over and started messing with her. And in the time that he is, in her mind wreaking havoc, he makes his escape. he makes his clean getaway. Because that's absolutely how Sauron would operate. But I also like that they really pulled on the lore and of the words of Tolkien himself, because I believe it's in the foreword of the Silmarillion. I think it's in the foreword of the Silmarillion where it talks about Sauron's nature and how he I can stop this now. We're just going through the different language credits. So let's stop that and stop the timer. Okay. So yeah, like I like that they leaned into what Tolkien himself said, because he talks about how stupid ants. Hold on. Gotcha. See? Stupid ants. But he talks about how Sauron, when he stayed behind after the War of Wrath, it was originally with the intent to heal what he had ruined. And so I like that they leaned into that Sauron thinks he's doing everybody a favor. There has to be a realistic motive for him. And his motive is that, I'm going to fix everything. I'm going to bring it into perfect order. Because that was always his thing. That's always Sauron's thing, is having a plan and it being all part of his larger obsession with perfection and, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Not convenience. What's the word I'm looking for? Efficiency. Oh my gosh, there's a word and I'm looking for it. Efficiency. Sauron was all about, he's a perfectionist and he loathes inefficiency. Which is why he was always behind all of the more cunning plans that Morgoth had. And so him basically saying that when Morgoth was captured and thrown into the void, he felt, this chokehold loosening. That is a wonderful way of putting it. Now, I always thought that there was, an attraction between Morgoth and Sauron. Like, there's a reason that Mairon was seduced to the dark side in the first place. And I don't think that he was just biding his time to outdo Morgoth. I don't think that would have been it. So I think that, the way that I always played Sauron in these situations after the War of Wrath is that he's pissed that Morgoth basically gave up. He's like, by the fires of Autumno, I did not just create hell in Middle Earth for us to just give up now and leave. He's like, this has to have served a purpose. Otherwise, what the were we up to for the last 500 years in the First Age, 500 to 600 years in the First Age, and then all of the time prior to that. So I think that there is a lingering anger in Sauron for the fact that Morgoth gave up. He was just like, I guess I've fulfilled my purpose. Take me away to Valinor. I'm done. And Sauron was like, no, fucking how dare you? How dare you? Yeah, Sauron is a great crafter, right? Yeah, he is also a deceiver, and lies are a craft. Yeah, you construct lies. He really is the great deceiver. Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. That's a great way of putting it. It makes sense that Elrond figured it out at the end because canonically he's the other one besides Galadriel that didn't trust Anatar. Yeah, I like the way that they've done this. Like, things are out of order, and that niggles at me just because of the lore being what it is. But I knew in advance that they were going to have to mess with shit. So while it bothers me, it's certainly not enough to make me quit the show. I'm okay with what they ended up doing here. It's just awkward for me. But I'm okay with what they did because having Halbrand just really jump right in there, I was really worried that somehow Galadriel wasn't going to see it. It's like either she's gonna see it and he's gonna have to abandon that form entirely, which would make sense, or for some reason we're giving up the whole Anatar persona entirely and sticking with Halbrand and him eventually positioning himself as something completely different. Because Sauron's purpose, and I read this in one of my videos, I have it right in front of me. It's right in the Unfinished Tales. Like, and I have the book right in front of me. I have like 9 reference books still on my desk. So it's page 236, I think it was. 236? Yes. Page 236 of the Unfinished Tales. It's going on about Sauron and the building of the chief city of Eregion, which is Ostin Edhil, which is where the scenes were taking place there with Celebrimbor. It says, the building of the chief city of Eregion, Ostin Edhil, was begun in about the year 750 of the Second Age, the date that is given in the Tale of Years for the founding of Eregion by the Noldor. News of these things came to the ears of Sauron and increased the fears that he felt concerning the coming of the Númenóreans to Lindon and the coasts further south, and their friendship with Gil-galad. And he heard tell also of Aldarion, son of Tar Meneldur, the king of Númenor. So this is one of the earlier kings, because again, condensed timeline. Now become a great shipbuilder who brought his vessels to haven far down into the Harad, so down into the Southlands area. Sauron, therefore, left Eriador alone for a while. He left it alone for a while, and he chose the land of Mordor, as it was afterwards called, for a stronghold as a counter to the threat of the Númenórean landings. This is dated approximately 1000 in the Tale of Years, in the Second Age. When he felt himself to be secure, he sent emissaries to Eriador, and finally, in about the year 1200 of the Second Age, came himself, wearing the fairest form that he could contrive. That's like my favorite bit from, this is specifically History of Galadriel and Celeborn in Unfinished Tales. So, great book, lots of information in there, and just alternates to the Silmarillion. Because the more you learn about Tolkien lore, the more you learn that the Silmarillion, because it was compiled by Christopher Tolkien, it's not the end-all be-all of the stories that are inside that book. It was compiled, but in several places, he just sort of arbitrarily had to choose which version of the story he was going to publish in the Silm. And everything else ended up in books like Unfinished Tales and in the History of Middle-earth series, which is 12 books of nothing but Tolkien's notes. So, like, it's extensive. But yeah, that's one of my favorite bits. So this actually plays really well into the lore, because what it does is it showed us how Sauron functions, which is by deceiving and wiggling his way into things. We saw that even in Númenor, where he was just like, I want to stay here. I don't know what your deal is, but I want to stay here. Why are you ruining this for me? But Sauron is always about the long game. So he just sort of took that as, maybe it's not my time yet in Númenor. Sort of a, I'll be back kind of thing. I think it would be kind of funny if another of his forms later on sort of harkens back. If we bring Charlie Vickers back in a slightly different version of himself, same actor but like different appearance, to make him the same guy who then later infiltrates Númenor again. I think that would be really interesting. I don't know that they'll do that. Because Pharazôn would recognize him, and I don't know that. I think that Halbrand is a form that's going to be discarded, and this makes sense now for the. Let me find the picture, and I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Image. Okay. I just need to find it really quickly. Where did I put it? I think I put it in my business files. Did I put it in thumbnails or... No. It's not collabs. There it is. Okay. I'll resize it. Okay. So this right here is the finale poster that we were given as promotion. So this is what they gave us, and there are notable characters missing in this picture. Halbrand is one of them. Sadok is not there. Poppy is not there. Isildur is not there. So we have several characters that are just notably absent in this particular poster, and it made me wonder, okay, then who are these characters, and what do they stand for? So the stranger isn't in there. There's several characters missing from this poster here. And so I am kind of happy what they did with the various characters. So we do have Celebrimbor, and we can look forward to Sexy Sauron, because the Halbrand identity is being discarded at this point. You just see him going into Mordor, and he will probably... I'm not sure if he'll come back for the season 2 premiere. I think that would be kind of cool. I'm not sure if Charlie Vickers will be back or not. Because they might want to show him discarding that form and taking his new one, or it might just be glossed over. It might be something that happens off screen, and then we just see Anatar showing up. Just showing up in Osten Edil. But Galadriel and Elrond would definitely know to be far more cautious at this point. You miss Durin. Expected his father to die this season. Yeah, I think it's not far behind. I think we're not far off from that. I think it's definitely going to happen soon. So I'll take that picture away now. But yeah, like with this poster being sort of the teaser for the finale, I was just kind of like, okay. I'm like, I have a few questions. It makes sense that Charlie Vickers is not in the promotional material, though, because if he was just playing Sauron for season 1, it does mean that that we are going to have that form discarded in favor of the fairest form that Sauron can contrive, right? Which, of course, I'm looking forward to. And I stand by my earlier statement. I kind of hope that they incorporate more Asian actors into the show. I would love for Anatar's form to be Asian. I think that would be really cool. You just wanted the Balrog in this episode. I'm glad the Balrog did not play a big role in this episode. I'm glad that didn't happen, because it feels like it's really jumping the gun. Really jumping the gun. So, yes. So I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset by that at all. I'm okay with this. Let me go back in some of the comments in the chat. Do I think the Zealots are going to come back as ring raids? They certainly could. They certainly could. At the very least, I think it would be cool for the Dweller, the one who's Briti Sisson, the one who was actively using magic and had a staff and was wielding it. That could be Kamul. Maybe their name is Kamul, and we end up with this wonderfully androgynous second in command, not the Witch King, but the one right under him. I think that would be very cool. Make it so that it's, Kings of Men. I don't mind discarding that and making it just powerful folk amongst men. So I would be okay with that. Anatar 1.0 is Halbrand. Anatar 2.0 is Anatar. Yeah. Sauron 2.0. Oh, man. Oh, that's right. I was going to add my merch. I was going to add my merch and do that thing. That's another thing. So let me change this up really quickly because I have merch designs and I can tease those really quickly just for the fuck of it. That would be here. Teespring merch. So I know most of you guys have already seen this sort of stuff, but here is my, whoop, it's too big, too large. So here's my Simping for Sauron design. Because once again, using my my calligraphy thing, it spells out Sauron using the Tengwar, but it looks like the eye. So that is the eye of Sauron. So I did make a Simping for Sauron because I've been using that hashtag the entire series. Since it was announced that it was Second Age, I was like, sexy Sauron, woo! So there's that one. We've got Simping for Sauron merch that will be up on my website as soon as possible. I will try and do that before I go to bed, I think. And then also we have this one, which is basically Hot Sauron or We Riot. Which it does look like we are going to get sexy Sauron because I do believe the Halbrand identity will be cast aside. So there will be merch. There will be merch. I'll try and get that up this evening. All right. I like that the hints of Halbrand and Sauron were only obvious to lore fans and were kind of a reward for us knowing about Anatar's personality. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I was hoping that he wouldn't be Sauron, but the way that they played it, it made a lot of sense. And the way that they played it, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I thought I was going to be way more upset about it. But I am perfectly happy being wrong. But that's kind of the fan that I am in general. I'm like, I'm content to be overruled. It's fine. Yeah, more casual fans wouldn't have had any reason to suspect that it was him. Right. Other than just the general sus of why was he out in the middle of the ocean? What exactly happened with this guy? Setup for Halbrand being Sauron wasn't great, and you don't think it would make much sense to the casual viewer. Right. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to the casual viewer. But again, the way that they did reveal it in this episode, I think that would help a casual viewer. I would love to hear a casual viewer's perspective on this, because I'm so deep in the lore, it's hard to pull me out of it. So I'd love to hear other people's perspectives, especially people who, didn't watch the movies, or maybe just watched the Peter Jackson films, but they haven't read any of the books. So they don't know any of the background lore. I would love to hear their perspective on how this played out for them, and their reaction to the big reveal. Kind of funny that Sauron gave Galadriel her dagger back, which is later made into the rings, right? It was necessary. You don't think he's going to discard the form yet? Fair. We'll have to see. Obviously, I don't know. Dagger giving for Galadriel's trust. Yeah, and then Sauron making rings for them. Making them rings with it was probably his goal. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. I hope they show him discarding his Halbrand form, since otherwise it might be confusing. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I hope they show it and put it on screen instead of it being an off-screen change. Because it would be very confusing. Because at that point, the only shape-shifting that we've seen has been done by the Dweller, one of the mystics. Because she took the Stranger's form to deceive Nori, and then she took Nori's form to deceive the Strangers. So, there's sorcery at work. But we need to see that Halbrand is capable, that Sauron is capable of doing that. It needs to be outright shown to the viewer, I think. So I agree on that. You actually wanted the Balrog in this episode. I'm glad he wasn't in here. That's just personal preference, though. I feel that that's jumping the gun too quickly when it comes to the fate of Khazad-dûm. Because, you know, even with a condensed Second Age, we're still like 3,000 years away. You know, give or take 100 years. We're about 3,000 years away from the Balrog awakening in Khazad-dûm and wreaking havoc. So, like, I feel like that's way too quick of a jump. So I think that was just to hype up the existence of the Balrog, and that, you know, we as the viewers who are familiar with Lord of the Rings do know that there's a Balrog there. But the dwarves, I think it's going to be more of a journey for them to find out. Let's see. Where was I? Sorry, guys. Objectively hot Sauron. Sauron at his best, right? You don't know why they teased it in the previous episode? Yeah, that's fair. It was sort of a thing. Like, I don't feel they needed to tease it at all. I think that was just to produce hype for the series. Because when we saw the stuff at Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con, before the first episodes were out, it felt like that was just a marketing ploy. I think they didn't need to include a Balrog at all in the first season. But yeah, I think they just did that for ooh, ah. And didn't one of them become the moth? Right. Oh, became Gandalf's moth friend. Interesting. I didn't think of that. Perhaps, though, that would be a really interesting way of tying them in. That they happen to be the moth that he's constantly whispering to. Right now they're enemies, though. We'd have to find a way of getting them on the same side. You don't think the Zealots will be back? The Ringwraiths started out as mortal. Yeah, Hot Sauron. I'm excited for Hot Sauron. Definitely. Hot or we riot, right? You didn't think you would like it, but you really do. Same. I didn't think that I would like a reveal of Halbrand being Sauron, but that worked really well. And was really well acted, too. Like, honestly, well done, Charlie Vickers. I'm very, very happy with how he played that. So, good job, directors. Good job, actor. That was very well done. I'm surprised at how much I enjoyed that. Like, what a way for me to be proven wrong. Like, I don't like not being right, but when I get proven wrong, like, that was definitely one of the better ways to be proven wrong. That was quite nice. I'll take it. Cultists must be from the Church of Morgoth. They very well could be. And I think that would be an interesting sort of tie-in, that we take this sort of energy that we have from the cultists, which Sauron may or may not have been in direct contact with in the past. I think that would be an interesting thing. And to see sort of how this religion has sort of taken off in his absence. And if that can then be duplicated in Numenor, which then would be sort of in the back of his mind, well, when I return to Numenor, let's try a different method here. Because I think it's very clear that Halbrand, as Sauron, wanted to become someone who was doing smith work in Numenor. So again, we see Sauron sort of rolling with the punches and implementing his plan in whatever way becomes accessible to him. He's very, very good at running the long game. And so he was planning on doing forging stuff in Numenor and turning Numenor from that perspective. But then he gets put in a position where he's like, but I can mess with the elves, and that's even better. I like it. I like it. I like it. Balrog could be a good reminder for the more casual viewers who may not have made the connection that where Durin and Disa live is the same place, right? As with the Balrog in Lord of the Rings. That's true. That's absolutely true, Cynthia. You're totally right. That it was a way of really connecting it to Lord of the Rings, because that is the defining attribute of Moria in the Third Age. When it comes to the plot of the Lord of the Rings, it's just that's where the Balrog is. So that's totally fair of making it, showing that connection in a way that will make a lot of sense and be easily recognizable for people. Is Nori gonna start smoking pipes in the later season to influence our dear hobo wizard? I mean, finest pipe weed in the South Farthing? I don't know. We don't know when the Harfoots become hobbit-like in their whole cultivation of pipeweed. But pipeweed, you kind of have to be settled down, right? In order to cultivate and then harvest and then dry the leaves and everything and make actual tobacco. So I think we're a ways off from that, but it would be interesting to see if she encounters it in Rhûn and then brings that to the people, like sees how people are cultivating the land and staying put, and that Nori brings this sort of concept of agricultural setting down your roots. If she brings that back to the Harfoots and is just like, we should just find a home and stop wandering, and then that's how they eventually settle down and start the Shire and all the Farthings and all that jazz, having their own little place in Eriador. And certainly if this is Gandalf would insist when he comes into the contact with the elves of Eregion. He would just be like, hey, this is my little friend, don't worry about it, but I'm gonna give them a space, and you're not gonna fuck with their space, okay? It sounds like something that this particular wizard character would totally do, especially if they happen to be the same as Gandalf. So yeah, I'm okay with it being Gandalf instead of one of the blue wizards, but I was kind of hoping we would get to explore the blue wizards as a separate entity from Gandalf, but they might be separate characters that did fall in Rhûn, and we end up seeing them and have them interact with our Gandalf character, if this is Gandalf. So there might be more Astari on the way. There were originally 5 of them, so yeah, there's the opportunity for there to have been multiple meteors, and I'm okay with that idea as well. That the wizards are there, the Astaria are there, but we just followed one of them, so they might come into play later on. I'd be cool with that. We don't want too many of them on screen at the same time, because you'll be playing into what a wizard is too much, because especially wizards banding together, like they wield a force that is quite formidable. So I think they could easily overdo it if we end up having 3 wizards in the same place at the same time. But part of me, yeah, like you, Cynthia, part of me is like, I really want to see the blue wizards, though. I want to see it. Sad and happy that Poppy stayed back. Yeah. Good in your opinion. Pardon me. Good in your opinion, so that it isn't an obvious Frodo Sam team. Yeah. Agreed. We already got our line, not going anywhere without me. That was Marigold saying the line in episode 7 instead. So we got that, oi! We're coming too! We got our little hobbit foursome there. little Hobbit gang of 4 just for episode 7 and part of episode 8 before Sadoc passes. And it does make sense that Marigold goes back and that Poppy stays with the group as well. So yeah, I'm okay. So where does this leave all the characters then? So the elves are doing their thing. They made the 3 elven rings. That's done. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we got to see Celebrimbor in his forage gear though. I'm living for Charles Edwards. I'm living for Charles Edwards right now in the foraging gear. Very nice. Very nice. So very, very happy about that. Let's see. Dwarves. So Durin and Disa are obviously planning to take over. I don't know whether it will get so dark as Patricide. I don't think it would get that dark. I wouldn't put it past Disa, though. Disa's got a dark side, and she's eager to rule beside her husband, as she should be. So I don't know if we'll get to full-blown Patricide or not. But certainly they will take advantage the moment Durin the Third is out of the way. They will take over and start mining that mithril. And that would be right in line with what happens in the Second Age. So things to look forward to with the dwarves. We haven't met Narvi yet, so we will probably meet Narvi in the next season, as the dwarves do have mithril. And once they start interacting with Celebrimbor, which I think will be a really good thing. I think it will be good to show that happening before Anatar arrives. So I hope that they establish this sort of friendship that gets struck up between Narvi and Celebrimbor. Looking forward to that. So that covers the dwarves. The Harfoots, obviously we have Nori going with the stranger off to Rune, and we'll see what happens to them there. Harfoots are just going to do their own thing until Nori eventually finds them again. So I'm okay with them doing their own thing. And so we have introduced the concept of the Harfoots, and now we just have one Harfoot to worry about, which in some ways is going to make things a lot easier with the plot. So I'm totally cool with that too. Let's see. We talked about the elves. Mortal men. Arondir. We didn't talk about Arondir. So it looks like Arondir is going to continue with the Southlanders down to Pelargir, which is one of the Númenórean settlements. It is on the maps, and I did decode the maps in my Twitter thread. So if you're curious about where the heck we're talking about, it's right at the mouths of the Anduin, right at that sort of southern tip where the river joins the Belagair, the Great Sea. So yeah, that is on the maps. Pelargir is clearly labeled on all of the maps that we've seen, so that's where they're headed. Arondir is obviously going with them, and we'll have to see what madness happens down there. Because there will be, increasingly, especially now that Halbrand probably isn't returning. Oh, hi, kitten, seriously. Are you going up? You're going up, okay. This is Alana. Are you good? Are you good? Do you want cuddles? Is this a cuddle thing? Okay, it's a cuddle thing. Okay. Let me adjust my chair up, okay? And then we'll cuddle. Okay. Okay, I'm here now. Here we go, kitten. Yeah, okay. Happy kitten. It's like happy wife, happy life, right? If the cat isn't happy, no one's happy. Good girl. Good girl, kitten. So this is my tortie, Alana. My dilute tortie. Hi, kitten. So yeah. I think that it'll be interesting to see what conflict we have down in the Southlands. Maybe Halbrand will stick around. Maybe we'll have multiple forms of Sauron for a while. Because Halbrand's identity was not spoiled to the Númenóreans or the Southlanders. So the Southlanders still think that Halbrand is their king. So it makes sense that we wouldn't see Halbrand's identity completely discarded, that it might just be a shape-shifting thing that Sauron pulls. So that when he's in the Southlands, he goes as Halbrand. But I do think that there will be an alliance and a connection made between Halbrand and Theo. I do see Theo as being made the heir apparent. It would be really, really funny if Halbrand happened to be Theo's father, but it seems like that is not the case, because Bronwyn would have recognized him. Huh, kitten? What do you think? What do you think, Alana? What do you think? Lauren Does Cosplay found a funny detail in the credits. She posted a pic on Twitter. Ooh, really? What did she find? Am I gonna have to look? You're gonna have to move. Kitten, you're gonna have to move. Go on. Alright, let's bring up Twitter. Let's bring up Twitter. Not that window. This window? Yes, this window. Alright. It was Lauren Does Cosplay. It's probably right at the top of my feed at this point. Gaffer and Best Boy. No. That's so funny. Previously. Is she seeing something in the previously thing that I'm not seeing? Oh, and it looks like Dawn is doing a Rings of Power finale discussion with spoilers, and there are people currently in the space, so yeah, I'll have to draw this to a close just so I can jump in there too. But I don't see any major spoiler. Just she's talking about Best Boy and the Gaffer in the credits, but Gaffer is an actual role for movie production and television production. It is a production role. Yeah, there's a role in the production team called a Gaffer or Best Boy, right? And she's like, how do I become Best Boy? Makes me think of Hogwarts with it's Head Boy. It's Head Boy and Head Girl. Which is sexist and dumb, but but it exists. Yeah, Sauron best be hot or there will be riots. Absolutely. Halbrand was kind of hot after he cleaned up. I agree, but he's not hot by elven standards. And I know that sounds really pretentious and like really gross. But seriously, when we're talking about Luthien Tinuviel being like the pinnacle of elven beauty, Sauron met her. Sauron fought with her. So he knows what elven beauty standards are, and he would be playing into that, which is why I do think he'll take a different form and that it won't be the same actor. I could be wrong with that. Maybe they'll have the same actor and just dress him up differently. You know, different wig, not having the stubble, since most elves do not grow beards, and so forth. LX on set and LX of set were credited. Stop. Oh, right, because I said the letters and she got triggered. Elves seem to have more delicate features. Halbrand was more scruffy hot, like Aragorn. Agreed. Annatar is the epitome of pretty privilege. He is. He absolutely is. 100%. It is his whole thing. That is Annatar's entire thing. He takes the fairest form he can contrive, like we read, and that is what he does. He goes in and he just starts stuff because he can get away with murder when he's gorgeous. Oh Lord, here we go. I'm getting the same ones, huh? Hold on. Oh Lord. Put user in timeout. Remove. Gosh, and I went to this bot's channel and like blocked them, and yet they can still come in here. This is the same bot that has been bothering my friend Gita like on every live stream she does. So annoyed right now. So they're hidden and timed out. They'll probably be here forever at this point because bot's gonna bot. Boo. But yes, I do agree that Annatar is the epitome of pretty privilege. He gets away with murder because he is gorgeous. But I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Just looking at how eager Celebrimbor was. The moment Sauron was speaking his language, he dove right in. And when they were just like, well, where's Halbrand? He's like, I don't know. Like, he's not even paying attention because the only thing that matters at that point is the craft. And I feel like that's spot on. That's exactly how Celebrimbor should be reacting. So I'm very happy with how he was played. I'm very happy with how Charles Edwards is playing the role. Super happy. I am amused that they made rings and not a crown because it means that Gil-galad still doesn't get a crown. Loser. But no, he is the final High King of the Noldor. So he will get we'll see how they end up divvying up the rings. Because we still haven't seen Círdan yet either. And Círdan eventually should play some sort of role. And because of the way Galadriel name-dropped Celeborn and how he disappeared and she hasn't seen him since, he will probably make a reappearance too. And he and Círdan are probably distant kin of each other. They're both Teleri elves. So I would not at all be surprised if whatever happens with Círdan also involves Celeborn. So I'd be cool with that. Begun the Clone Wars has. I haven't seen Clone Wars. Not really. Other than, you know, the way it plays out in episodes 2 and 3 of the movies. Very glad that the fating of the elves was solved by a little piece of Mithril. Now the mythical plot of Mithril can be over. Yes, same. Hard same. And just, again, like, there was a reason that Durin III was saying what he was saying, and he was not wrong. So I'm glad he didn't just give up all the Mithril, and then we end up, you know, trying to put a Mithril ring on every single elf ever. So the way that they formulated this makes sense. It does make sense, because the power of the 3 elven rings is to sustain elven places and elven populations. This is why Lothlorien basically has a different sense of time-space. Time runs slower. Time runs slower in Lothlorien, which is kind of cool. So there is a sense of these powers that the rings passively possess. Because the rings, you know, especially because of when the One Ring is created and all that jazz, the 3 elven rings don't get used, not actively used, but they do have passive powers that the 3 ring bearers do enjoy. And one of them being Galadriel, and it helps keep her realm shielded from evil and also adds to the preservation of it. So I'm okay with how they incorporated the whole it keeps the elves from fading. It just means that there are going to be pockets of thriving elven communities where the desire, the sea longing is going to be lessened because of the power of the rings. If they had just put it that way, that it's a desire to go west, that it's not necessarily just the fading thing, but that the desire of all elves is eventually to go west, and that desire can only be mitigated if you are in one of these settlements that has a ring to back it up. That makes a lot more sense. They just didn't frame it quite that way, but it does make sense. And so we can still be like, yeah, I don't know about the whole Balrog and an elf in a tree and lightning from Manwë creating Mithril, but at least we know that the power of Mithril has an impact, and they connected that to the elven rings, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Hi, Gray. My other cat is just circling down here. 1 Mithril chain link on every elven necklace must solve the fading, right? Gosh. How long do I think it's going to take until there are ring pops for Rings of Power and their jewels look like it? That would be hilarious. I might propose that on Twitter and try and @ the people who make ring pops. I would 100% buy Rings of Power ring pops. We were all deceived, for another ring pop was made. What if it was like it's ring pops, but you don't know what flavor you're going to get until you open it? Which I think is how ring pops worked. It didn't just say what flavor it was on the outside, didn't it? It was just completely random. So there should be like only one in every box is the one flavor of the one ring. And maybe it has like a different color plastic thing. That would be so much fun. I think that would be great, especially if they ended up putting the One Ring characters. If they put the Elvish on an imprint for just that one out of every box. I would love it. Then you'd have people trying to collect them and stuff, and I think that would be hilarious. Yeah, what flavor would the One Ring pop be? I have no idea. Gray? What are you doing? Gray? Gray? Hey. What? Well, are you gonna come over here, or are you just going to be flapping your tail against my mic? Uh-huh. He's just rubbing against my mic arm and making it move. Love you, Gray. Go on. Move. The thunk. Sauron flavored. What does Sauron taste like? I'm thinking like, I know this is really calling up like what I did for my Mordor, my Mount Doom scent that I did for essential oils was basically tangerine plus vanilla plus spices. And so what I was going for was kind of like a citrus creme brulee kind of feel. Like treacle, where it's kind of boozy, but it's like spiced, and there's that vanilla and citrus sweetness and sourness to it. It's supposed to be alluring, right? Flap. But no. So I'm, all things considered, I'm very happy with how that turned out. I am okay with the way that they played it. I'm okay with, like, pretty much everything that they did, even the things that are altered a bit. I do like the incorporation of the dagger into the 3 elven rings. That's not at all canonical, but it makes sense. That if you're making an alloy with mithril, and you're not going to use it purely, then it would have to be metal that comes from Valinor, because that metal is just it's on another level. It lived in the light of the two trees, right? Lived, if metal can live. You know what I mean. It existed in the light of the two trees. And so I think that's a fun way of doing it. That if they were going to make anything out of that small bit of mithril, they had to combine it with other metal, and then that metal had to be of a quality that is not seen in Middle-earth. So I'm okay with it. I think that's an interesting way of having presented the 3 elven rings, and I'm alright with it. This one season lasted for 8.5 hours, nearly as much as the entire trilogy, right? Right? I'm excited, though. I feel like this was well done. This was well done. And basically that basically means that we got an entire movie trilogy in one season. We got an entire movie trilogy over the course of 7 weeks. Just over 6 weeks. I think that's pretty damn cool. Because before, like, for those of us who are old enough to remember when the movies were coming out, because I was in high school, having to wait a year was such a bummer. Even though we know that the 3 movies were filmed at the same time, at least the original Peter Jackson trilogy for Lord of the Rings. They were all filmed simultaneously. There were pickups later, but they were filmed simultaneously, and then it was just, they came out a year apart from each other. It was 2001, 2002, and 2003. And it was just, it was so rough waiting. It was so rough waiting. But we did what we had to. But that was my sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school. Lord of the Rings and Tolkien became my entire existence. Watched Return of the King twice at the theater when it came out. Oh, nice. I was there for the first showings. We didn't do midnight showings very often at my local theater in my hometown. It wasn't a big enough city to warrant that kind of attention. But I was there. I got in line at it was before dawn. Like, easily before dawn. I think I was there at 4 a.m. in the snow, because of course these came out in December, and I lived in a mountain town. So I was out there in the snow wearing elvish costuming, because of course I was. I used super glue to glue my ears into points, which actually looked not half bad. It hurts after a while, but it looked pretty convincing. And yeah, I stayed in line for hours in literally the freezing cold, in the snow, and got to see. That was for Two Towers and Return of the King. I didn't know what Tolkien was until after I saw the first movie the first time, but that did happen right when it was premiering. I think I was within the first 3 days of it being out. Family went to see Fellowship of the Ring 3 times in cinema. I saw it at least 9 times. At least 9 times. And I think 8 of those 9 times I was in costume. Because I went off the deep end. I went off the deep end so freaking fast. And then I went to the premiere, in my town at least, the first showing of both the Two Towers and Return of the King. And I was in newspaper articles because I was citywide known as the elf chick, which is part of the reason why I am now the elf boy. Because I'm like, chick, not I. I am not a chick. I am boy, B-O-I. So that's kind of where my idea for resident elf boy came from. Didn't do midnight sittings either. Small Georgia town. Yeah, there wasn't as much demand. Same. Yeah, Fellowship changed our lives, right? Absolutely it did. It completely changed my life. And I dove right into it was the elves. It was the elves. In the Peter Jackson films, it was totally the elves. They did it for me. Okay. It looks like Dawn's discussion is still going, so I'm going to end this live stream and then jump over into the Twitter Spaces. So if anybody is following Dawn Marshall 72 over on Twitter, He has a Rings of Power finale discussion with spoilers. Feel free to jump on over there. Let me see if I can. Yeah. Copy link address. So I'm going to put it in chat. There we go. So that's where I'm going to be. So that's it for today. We'll do some more discussion over there because I really want to hear his thoughts. And we'll certainly be doing the After Power hour, I believe, on Monday. Monday is typically when we hold that space. So that'll be over on Don Marshall's Patreon. So good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the finale. Now we get to have the big long watch parties where we watch all 8 episodes in a single day. I will definitely be doing that. I'll have to do it over on Twitch. Maybe I'll be able to poke Don into doing that, but probably not. I don't think he's the type to do that long of a stream. So it might just be me. But we'll have to try and do that. So everyone take care. I will see you guys next time. This is the last week that we'll be doing this on Thursday, though, so I will have to see if I end up replacing that with something. Maybe we'll do an ASMR stream or just chat Tolkien stuff once a week up until my top surgery. So everybody, please take care. I will see you guys soon. Definitely stay in touch with me over on my Patreon, over on my Twitter, and over on my TikTok, because those are the 3 places I am most active right now. So, love you guys. Everyone take care. Bye. I'm so excited. This was so much fun. Everyone have a good one. Peace.